Old McMilton had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had a
Remix.
remix.
Daddy, we gotta talk about the animals.
Oops, sorry.
Hey y'all,
Hey.
we out here in the beat of the sun today for this special video for y'all today.
Special video.
Today we're gonna talk about
Why the homestead is so important to us.
yes, and we're gonna talk individually about certain animals about why they're so important to us.
Right. So we don't like to do outtakes and stuff like that. I just edit it usually when Crystal's asking me, is it time yet? But today we're going to talk about this unfiltered and unedited as best we can. All right? So number one, babe, why is this, I'm your interviewer, why is this homestead so important to you?
Why is this homestead so important to me is because I want to provide the best food I can for our family, the most natural, to know how your food was raised, what your animals eat, what's being intaked into your animals, and the outcome of the product.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't want nobody getting over on me and sending your products off the China or anything. No offense to anybody who's Chinese or anything, but people take shortcuts when it comes to food nowadays. So,
And not all people take shortcuts, but a lot of these mass production companies do take shortcuts.
Yes.
They do feed their animals hormones. They do shoot them up with things by needles and injections.
to make them appear bigger than they really are.
Yeah, so that is a concern of ours, yeah.
So that's my main reason for wanting to do this is to raise our own food for our own families and eventually be able to raise more food than we need and be able to give it away.
Yeah. My reason is very close. I know my wife and I, we share a lot of similarities. We actually have a lot in common. But that's one thing that I can say that we do share is that my wife and I, we do value healthy living. She more than me. 'Cause I eat a lot of snacks and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do if something really happens without my potato chips.
Yes, I'm gonna have to learn
You gotta
how
grow
make
some
me
more
potato
potatoes,
chips.
man. But my biggest thing is I want to use this place as a ministry, and not just a ministry like someone would think of as a church or as a center. Those are all great things, and I can see us using this as a center. But mostly, I want to be able to open this place up to people's our community's young folks, where they can come and learn how to do simple homesteading, like how to build pens, how to build a shelter for your animals, how to grow food like my wife does in the garden,
How to start a small garden.
how to open up things like how to do things with the engine, things like that. And just to put a little end on that, I also see our place in the future, as my wife, she kind of alluded to. I see it as a place that we could use to, if we couldn't bless someone else, we could at least give someone a temporary place, or show someone our way of a loving gesture, like giving some food away. We're planning on growing an orchard, so we would have plenty of fruit. We're planning on expanding our garden, so we have plenty of vegetables. We praying and we believing that God is going to expand our herds, so we have plenty of meat and stuff like that. So our family, we want to grow our family, but our family can't consume that much food, so we want to be able to share with other people. Now, with that being said, ma'am, can you explain, let's start off with the goats. What do the goats do for us as a family?
Okay, so initially we got the goats for milk. My husband and my second daughter are lactose intolerant, but they can tolerate goat's milk. So if you didn't know that and your family is lactose intolerant, goat's milk can be tolerated by people who are lactose intolerant. It's actually, we found, is that goat chewing on your chair?
Yeah.
We actually found out it has a large amount of health benefits. I won't take the time to list them all out right now, but The health benefits of goat's milk is amazing. So look it up, raw goat's milk, and look up the benefits of it. It's actually way better for you than cow's milk.
I was gonna say that goats, to me, these goats have for the past few years, they've provided a source of income.
Yes.
Like, cause we've been breeding them, and they, of course, reproduce, and we sell their offspring because the only milker we have is really Lacey here, and the others just, we just found out that we just figured out that the milk is just not something that we want to continue doing. So we're gonna actually transition to some meat goats.
Yeah, we're transitioning to meat goats. We probably will always still keep one
Probably two.
milk goat, maybe two, but we're transitioning out of expanding that herd.
Right.
That's just going to be a small portion of our herd of goats.
Right.
We want to transition over to just meat goats with a couple of dairy goats just for our own use, because we enjoy having the goat's milk around. But it's becoming too much of a hassle to try to keep up with dairy goats. Their health is finicky.
Still, why do we have chickens?
We have chickens because we like the eggs. That's
So-
not it, but.
So, why we have chickens is because first we started off with a few chickens and we wanted some farm fresh eggs. I also wanted some meat chickens. So we started off with five chickens, and our purpose was, I think initially it was just to get the eggs, but we learned that chickens serve a huge purpose for your farm. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. So can you talk about some of the purposes they serve?
Well, first they lay wonderful eggs. And then they help to cultivate your land, because you've spoken about that before. And what we mean by cultivate, we mean fertilize, scratch it up, make the grass able to grow in certain areas. Because when we first moved here, there wasn't very much grass. There was a whole lot of trees and a whole lot of dirt.
Yeah, you can see back there that actually that used to be nothing but trees and dirt and patchy little weeds, and this is where we throw the feed out so you can kind of see it if you can. And now it's really grassy. I need to mow it, so don't judge me, okay?
We're keeping it high for the deer.
But they keep bugs to a minimum. Ticks, like the guinea, like we have more than just chickens. We have geese, we have turkeys, guinea hens, ducks, and they all serve their own purpose. Not only are they good for taste, but they all
They
But
go good on a taco.
they also go great on tacos. But they're good. They're good homesteading. How can I say this? They're good homesteading tools. So they're very important to us. Like, if we didn't have the chickens, we would be in a lot of trouble, especially with bugs.
So a little story about our land. Our land is actually surrounded by a creek that runs back behind that fence. And y'all know water sources brings mosquitoes and also other bugs and critters. We don't have barely any mosquitoes out here.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
because of these animals back here that eat all the mosquito larvae from any standing water that
Yep.
comes around. So they help us out. We're in the low country, so we're in a low level area that does get a little bit of flooding from here and there, and they keep that down for us. We may get a mosquito here and there every once in a while, but only gnats. I guess they can't eat gnats.
So their level of importance is very high. You know, I would say at least I would say on a scale from 0 to 10, I would say they're at least a 7.5.
They're pretty
For
pretty high.
importance, yeah, chickens are very important.
I always told Josh if we ever have to leave a farm, I'm taking some chickens with me. I don't care if we got to take chickens in an apartment on a balcony or something.
Dang. All right. Well, let's move on then. That's all you got?
That's all I got. Remember we were talking about the guineas also and the geese also serve another purpose as guardians
Yeah.
too, because they make loud noises.
The turkeys do too.
Yeah, they do,
I just think turkeys are pretty. Not only do they taste good,
but they look pretty.
but they're pretty. I got some pretty turkeys. I'm not gonna lie.
They're not here anymore. They left. But
Yeah. I chose them for their beauty.
We're gonna wrap
All right,
this
let's
up
move on.
with why it's important for us to have sheep.
yep.
So as you can see, they're very excited. They got a little food.
Yes, they're very excited right now.
So sheep and livestock guardians. So man, why are sheep important to you?
Sheep are important to me because we have not began our meat process yet, but we would like to hopefully next year or later on this year, right? We'll have our first sheep that we're going to process on our farm.
Yep.
We're looking forward to having our own sheep lamb meat. They are a lot more hard. They're banging behind us. They are a lot more hardier than goats. They can tolerate a little bit more. They eat a lot better than goats.
I think that's why Jesus said he's gonna separate the sheep from the goats.
Probably because the goats waste a lot, man. They're just wasteful creatures. Aren't they? Though, for real, them goats are wasteful creatures.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A little Bible humor.
I know. We don't never have to clean the sheep. If you want something that's gonna clear out your pasture for you, down to nothing, that's what you need to get is some sheep.
And to me, sheep are just a better all-around animal.
They're not as friendly.
They're not as friendly, but they probably would be if we would bottle raise them. And the goats, we've just had more time with the goats, and we just sorry.
A turkey just pecked the goat's ear.
Yeah, trying to get all the ticks and stuff off of them.
There ain't no ticks on that goat's ear.
It was a fly.
Oh, it was a fly?
Yeah. Well, anyway, she's getting distracted.
Sorry, y'all. Squirrel.
But the reason why sheep are important to me, not only that, but on my farm, my dream was to have a herd of sheep, not goats. That was my wife wanted some goats, and nothing against goats. I like goats; they do serve a purpose. But my dream was always to have a herd of sheep and cows, and so they have served this purpose for us. And eventually, like Crystal said, I would love for my wife or myself or both of us would be great if we could learn how to shear wool and spin it. Man, that would be awesome. I would love for us to take a class on how to shear and spin wool.
Just for the record, we do not have any wool sheep here. Well, we have one ram that might be partial to wool that we just got. We added a new ram and a wether. Did you just fart on camera?
Man, that's not an outtake. What's wrong with you?
Okay.
All right.
So
the reason why we have sheep, and now we have 2 males, and we have 3 girls, and we're praying and believing that that's definitely going to multiply this year, and then we have 1 meat lamb. So
yes.
Going forward, we happy. So the horses. Tell me, why do we have horses?
For our girls.
Yeah, our daughters.
They are purely for our children. They are not part of our farming adventure. But, maybe eventually we will put them into the process. But we're thinking about possibly doing pony rides and parties and stuff. We're gonna look into that and see how that works out. But for right now, they're just for our girls. They're our girls' ponies.
Yeah. All right, so lastly, we want to finish with this. The reason why we have livestock guardians is exactly what the name means. They are bred. We breed them now. They are here. Their purpose is primarily
they are raised just to guard the livestock.
To guard the livestock, exactly. They do guard the livestock very. We have 2 that do better than the other one.
Yes.
But we got them, and they do their job well enough where we haven't had any attacks since we got them in 4 years.
We don't have any hawks. We don't have any foxes. We don't have any, what else?
Thieves.
We don't have any coyotes. We
People
don't have any
thieves.
We don't have any people thieves try to come on here. What else would try to come on here and take some?
Raccoons,
Raccoons
possums,
will try to come. Yeah,
foxes, coyotes. Yeah, you said
now
all that.
we've seen them near our property, but they've never come on our property. We've seen them on the front half up there, or our neighbor sees them walk through her yard like they own the place, but never actually seen them on our livestock guardian dogs. They do their job. That's what they were raised for, and I wouldn't suggest anybody who has free-ranging animals to not have one. If you plan on keeping them in cages, that's all well and fine. Just make sure your runs and cages are secure. But if you plan on free-ranging your animals, you need to have a livestock guardian dog. I believe, don't you agree, that that's a necessity to have if you're free-ranging animals? Because our chickens are able to fly all over this property because of them.
All right, y'all. So that's the wrap up.
That is the wrap-up.
And,
Forgot to talk about the pigs, but y'all know why pigs are here, right?
No.
Our hogs.
Are they? What
our
are they
hogs.
for? Oh.
Our hogs.
I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, listen. Like this video, subscribe, and share. All right, God bless.